So you're all very welcome. Thank you very much for taking your time this evening to join us. I'll start with a little quote that we received from a little girl in Tipperary. She said she'd love to do more coding. It's amazing, and it's also helped me with my confidence. This is the reason why we're all doing this, and we love to see these types of feedback. So tonight, I just want to cover a few different areas. One is what's new in OurKidsCode. I want to talk to you a little bit about the club supports that are available, a little bit about the upskilling and training that we're planning, and to remind everybody that we have a paid role available in most of the counties that we're currently operating in. So what's new? Just a quick recap about what is OurKidsCode. So OurKidsCode, we're a research project. We're based in Trinity College. We're an opportunity for families to learn about computing together in a fun, engaging and social way in their local community. So it's a parent and guardian in a team with their child. It's not a drop and go. You guys all know this. It's happening in community centres and BCP sites all over Ireland. It's not a course. It's not intended to be a course. It's not a class. It's a fun social club where we do creative computing projects. There are no learning objectives and no tests. So the first thing that's new is our website. So we've redeveloped our website. We've taken all of the feedback, all of the evaluation, all of the reaction data, and all of the interviews that we conducted with yourselves over the first part of this year. And we have really rejigged our approach. You'll see that the three key pillars of our approach are now find a club, start a club, and run a club. So find a club is for new people who come along and want to take part. They can see if there's a club in their area, and we can support them to either join that club or to start their own club. And then if you've started your own club and you're up and running, it's the supports that we can provide now and into the future to help you with running that club, to help it be sustainable and to share the load of the responsibility. We also have a couple of new team members. I'm joined tonight by Sarah Chapman, who is Programme Coordinator with responsibility for club outreach and coordination of the supports available to the clubs, and Mary O'Mahony, who is our training coordinator, and Mary will be looking after the training of our paid facilitators and also the upskilling for families and club leaders to improve their skills to be able to better run their clubs. I want to start by sharing just a very short anecdote about this club in Longford. This is the Columkill Club in Longford. They started this time last year. They met for the first time with our facilitator in Longford, Siobhan. They went through 4 weeks to start their club and they continued to meet. And I suppose they're a success story in the sense that they went on to be part of the Microsoft Dreamspace showcase. They took on from confidence to demonstrate, invited to take over, and then they continued to sustain their club. And they submitted a project to the Microsoft Dreamspace showcase event in June of last year, which took place up in One Microsoft Place, and their project won the Most Collaborative Project Award. It's a fantastic story that is not the only story that we've seen. We've had clubs from Tipperary. We see the Rossmore Scratchers, who've won a fantastic award in the .ie. They've got some fantastic plans for the future. We have Boher and Tipperary, who have gone great guns at continuing to roll out the programme with other families in their group. We have Bective and Meath, who are a new club that are just taking off at rapid speed. You know, we've got a bunch of clubs all over the country that we are really keen to get working with to support them to continue to meet. So we got them off the ground. And now our job is really to see how can we support these clubs to continue to meet, to continue to enjoy it, and to continue to sustain themselves. So we're building the community. I don't expect anybody to read all of these locations, but this is where we currently are at the moment. These are locations that have all had the 4-part Start the Club programme, and then we're starting to break out into Offaly and Leitrim over the coming weeks. There are so many opportunities in each of the counties that are existing for new clubs to start in new BCP sites. So please do spread the word if you have a local club, if you have a local BCP site who you think could be a good location for a new club. One of the main opportunities we have with the OurKidsCode project at the moment is an opportunity for new facilitators. So it's based in your county. We're looking for people who are really interested in supporting families to start a new OurKidsCode club. They'll be working very closely with our project team here in Trinity College. It's a consultant role. You work in partnership with the County Council, and we offer excellent rates. There's full training and support from Trinity College Dublin and your local County Council. We offer materials and kits to deliver successfully in your BCPs. And there's also an opportunity to shape this project, which is really exciting at its early stages. So there's an expression of interest form there, which I would love you to share with anybody you think might be a good fit. And don't forget, that person might be you. I'm going to pass over now to my colleague, Sarah Chapman, and Sarah's going to talk through a little bit about the club supports that we've been putting in place and our plans for how to get those out to you and hopefully to support you through the next few months.
Thanks, Louise. Hopefully I've met a few of you at this stage, but if you haven't met me, I will be in touch very soon. So as Louise said, my role here is really to support you guys in the club and to listen to you and what you'd like to do to help grow and keep interested. So two things really came out closely when we looked at the research and through talking to people that clubs really wanted to have. And that's, first thing was knowledge. So people wanted support in how to run their club, how to keep the club going, and even sort of coding support and access and connections with other clubs. So we're starting out this autumn with a webinar series. So the first one is next Wednesday, and it's with Richard, and it's a family coding club, and I'll give you some more details of that. The following Wednesday, the 15th, we have Michael Barrett from Dream Space going to give a specific information session for clubs on how you make the most of the Dream Space lessons and what the particular showcase journey is for clubs. So that will be an interesting one, and one to ask lots of questions of Michael. And then the third one is an area we haven't really touched on within any of our projects, but Pam O'Brien from TOOS and the EU Code Week is going to come along and talk to you about Make Code Arcade. So she has lots of lessons, online lessons and fun project ideas. So that will be an interesting one. So I have put the sign up for the first two webinars on the website. So if you go to the news and events section on the website, you'll see there the links to them under the news article, and you can just sign up and it will send you the Zoom link. The other area that's come through very strongly as well is new project ideas. So we're busy making new project guides for projects, and they're on the Run a Club section. The ones you'll see there, the existing projects, the new pet project will be appearing next week, and we hope to increase that going forward. But it really would love to have your input to the project guys. So if you have projects that you're working on within the clubs, please share them. I think we're all very aware that time is precious. So if you have 3 clubs working and researching for new project ideas, if we can do swapsies, that's two meetups where you don't have to do your own research. So we've put on the website that there's a new section called Submit a Project Idea. So you can either do that via the website, or you can just drop me an email. And it doesn't have to be polished. It can be rough ideas. Even sending us links to the code itself will really help. And the third area, there's 3 clubs that I've invited so far, and hopefully we'll spread that out to more people, is I'm trialing a new community app called Slack, where we can all go on and share our ideas, and I can communicate with you. So we're just looking and seeing whether that works yet at the moment. I'm very keen that it adds to your life and makes life easier before we roll it out to the rest of the clubs. Next slide, please, Louise. So you might have seen the new website. Hopefully you have done. It's been refreshed. And as part of that, we've refreshed also a lot of the club tools to help us get to know you and get to help you better. So if you look on the Run a Club section on the website, there are some club links. Registration isn't on there, but it's just to emphasize to you and that every family that takes part in OurKidsCode, so if you have a new family joining your group, they do need to go through the registration process. So that covers us for child and data protection. And it also covers us for research purposes, because obviously this is a research project. It's not required for you to re-go through this if you've already registered with us previously, but if you have a new family join or you haven't registered, please do register. You will notice the registration process has slightly changed. What happens now is you go through 2 pages of consent, which outlines all the areas that are needed for research and child protection, etc. And then when you get through to that, you click through and you get a very simple form to fill in. The second area that's changed is check-in. So you may remember when you did your 4-week program that everybody in the meetup had to check in individually. We're now saying that only one person per meetup needs to check in. So you check in as a club, not as an individual. So that should hopefully change. It saves time first thing in the meetup. The third one is just reaction. It's the same form, it's just been updated and it's been put into MS Forms. So it looks just slightly different, but it's gathering the same information. Again, it would be so helpful if this could be filled in by children and adults at every meetup. And the last one is the evaluation. So again, there's only one person per meetup fills this in. This is a really good way of letting us know how you got on with a particular project and how you're getting on with a particular, how your meetings are going, any issues you have. And one of the things that you can do is highlight to us that you want to be called back. And I will then call you back, or whoever's appropriate will call you back and we can have a discussion. So why are these tools needed? I suppose by telling us your meeting, we can count on you in our plans for support. We can also keep an eye and just make sure that you're getting all the support that you need as a club, and that we can intervene if we need to help you out. The other thing as well is, I mean, the reaction and evaluation, we are a research project, and that research project is, you know, working towards our aims, but it's also as well trying to build OurKidsCode as a better club and a better thing that's evolving all the time. So if you fill in the reaction forms and you fill in the evaluation, that helps our research, and our research helps us get more funding for the project to continue, and then everybody benefits. We're also going to be looking at the activity of clubs. So when you're doing a check-in and you're doing reaction and evaluation forms, you know, the more active clubs you are, the more kit will be getting out to you, and you'll be the first to be offered extra opportunities events. So please fill in the forms. The other thing that you'll see on the forms is that each club now has a club code. So you'll see when you go into the form, so you go into a check-in form and it will say, select your club code. And they're very simple to work out. So it's literally the county, followed by the BCP name, and then followed by the number of the group. So I've given an example there of Meath Bective 01. So if you have more than one club running in your BCP, you'll be 01, 02, 03. So I'll reach out to you and give you your club codes. But in the meantime, if I haven't spoken to you, you should be able to work it out from the drop-down list that's there. Okay, next slide, please, Louise. So the really exciting one, the guy is so cute. So next Wednesday on the 1st of November, Richard is going to do an online coding session with hopefully everybody in clubs and kids, adults between 6 and 8 p.m. via Zoom. And it is making an electronic pet that reacts to your treatment, and it's open to all families. So join as a family or a club. I'm going to come along with my kids as well, because I really want one of these little pets. And it could be as well, you just send one person along and then they bring it back to your meetup for the following meetups. So there's going to be a project guide with it as well. So you'll have everything you need. So you just need scissors, fabric or googly eyes, some PVA glue, cardboard, and a microbit. If for any reason you don't have a microbit, can you let me know? Because all the clubs that are active should have microbits. So let me know and I will try and sort something out for you. So as I said, if you want to partake, hopefully we'll see you next Wednesday, and you can just sign up if you go to news and events section and you'll see a link for it. That's it from me. I really hope to hear from you, and my email is there, and I'll be out in the next one. Thank you.
Okay, so okay, so hi everybody. My video's not working, so just to let you know. So I'm Mary. Mahoney, as Louise said. So I am now over upskilling and training for OurKidsCode, and that means that I'm in charge of training the facilitators who will go out and do the starting up clubs workshops. But I'm also in charge of offering training to clubs who want upskilling or who are looking for different kinds of training and support from us. So just to start by letting you know what's new on the website in terms of support for you in terms of training, facilitation, and so on. So we have a page called Run a Club, which you'll find on the new website. And here you'll find PDFs that are available for you to download and photocopy or just look at, obviously, on your phone, your laptop. And we have all the project guides that some families, some clubs will have seen already in this form and others will not, because they've been updated from the ones that you would have seen maybe if you started your club in sometime in, before the summer. So we've got dance mat, rock, paper, scissors, and conductor there. And then once Richard has launched the pet project next week, that guide will be up there as well. So for example, if you have a new family coming in who hasn't done any of the sessions that you had when you were starting up, you can download the project guide for them to see, dance mat, which a lot of people started with, or rock, paper, scissors, which other clubs will have started with, and so on. There's also some of the aspects that you would have found in the club guides as you got them first, as you were training along with them, that being a positive team and forming a family team. Those we have pulled out. They are still in those initial club guides, but in case you wanted to use them separately, once you're up and running and you're not going to do rock, paper, scissors again, but you would like to look at the being a positive club and talk about your club rules or the ethos of your club, that's a separate sheet that you can print off for your club. You can even print it off A3 sized if you want to make it a poster and put it on the wall. And maybe do a session together talking about how we want our club to run and how we should be with each other and how can we create a positive atmosphere. That's there for you to use to support that process. We also have the meetup checklist, so and the running a meetup guide, and those are sort of tick box sheets where you can see, okay, what jobs need to be done, and a space to write in the name of the person who's going to do them. So the idea is at the end of each meetup, when you're talking about when's our next session going to be and what's our project going to be, you can also talk about who's going to do which jobs. And that helps you to notice if there's maybe one person who says yes to everything and winds up doing all the work, which isn't really sustainable. It's not fair to them. And then also it's, if they're not there, then does anybody else know what to do? And does the club run without them? So what we'd really like is for the clubs to be very cooperative and for everybody to have a job, and especially children can also write their names in and take on jobs. So on those two, the meetup checklist, those are the jobs that will need to be done before the session starts, like getting to the hall and opening it up and putting on the lights and the heat, those kinds of things. And then the running a meetup has, someone to keep an eye on the time and someone to lead the warm up and so on. And so all of those jobs can be shared around from time to time, from meetup to meetup. So the idea is that you'd have that sheet there, you print it off, or you could have it as a PDF to fill in on your laptop. And then you can see who's doing what jobs, and then nobody gets stuck with them all the time. And then, of course, we know choosing a project and choosing a warm-up are always things that people have looked for support around. So we've got these two, and I think they're on the slide there. Sort of a guide to choosing projects where you have the same kind of smiley faces that you have in the meeting reaction form, and you can say, is it fun? Are we excited about doing it? Is it a yellow, a green, or a dark green smiley face? Is there a craft bit? Is there something for everyone? Is there a coding bit? And do we have what we need? Have we got the right devices? Have we got the craft supplies? So it just helps you to kind of organize everybody's chat around what project you'll do next. And then, of course, you also need a warm-up. So there's just a guide to help you figure out what's the right warm-up to do with this, with the project that you've chosen. So the upscaling opportunities, thanks for changing the slide, Louise. So we've listened to clubs, and they've come back to us to say, yeah, we're meeting up and it's going really well, but we have other families who want to join. We're not really sure how to integrate them. Or maybe we've also got a problem where we stopped meeting up over the summer and we haven't really got it off the ground again, and we just need a sort of kickstart to get going. Or maybe, as I said in the last slide, you might have one person who feels like they're doing everything and they're the one who's sort of responsible for just keeping the club going. And they want to think about, how can I get other people to help, and how can we share it around a bit? So those are the kind of questions that have come up. So we have a series of short online training sessions planned to start in late November. So now's your chance. You're here. If you want to email us or put something in the chat box to say, what do you want? What can you imagine for an upskilling session for clubs that you would like to see covered? So what kind of topics or what kind of support are you looking for? What situation is your club in that you'd like us to talk about with you? And one aspect of the training sessions would also be just to chat to other people from other clubs and have a bit of solidarity and a bit of seeing what they're up to, and maybe get some new ideas. So we see that as a way to sort of create a bit of sense of community, so you can find out what other clubs are doing around the country at the same time. So do let us know what you're interested in hearing about. And also what's immediately on offer for you in your counties where you are, where things are already up and running, is so if you have a new group of families who want to start their own OurKidsCode club because there isn't room in your club, or you feel like you can't accommodate everybody who's interested, then you can put them in touch with us and they can get the 4 sessions to start their own club with a professional facilitator from OurKidsCode. So that's available. And then we've also heard from clubs that sometimes families want to join in and they're not really sure, but they don't really know what OurKidsCode is. And people are saying, well, I don't know if they really want to do it if they knew what it was, and I don't know how to explain to them what it is. And so we also offer just the first workshop in our series, which is called the Taster Workshop, which is an opportunity to do Dance Mat and to experience what an OurKidsCode meetup is actually like. And that's delivered by a professional facilitator. So if you have families who are interested in joining your club and you think that might be of use to them, to just do that one taster session, and then after that you'd be happy to, or you'd think about having them join you because you just don't know how to include them or how to get them clued into what OurKidsCode is, we can do that for you, and then you can they may be able to join your club after that, or they can go on to do 3 more sessions and start their own club. So I think that's everything. Thanks, Louise.
Mary, so I suppose to summarize, I really just wanted to just pick the highlights of what we've gone through tonight. One of our main, I suppose, asks is that you go to the website, sign up for the Pet Project online meetup next week with Richard. I'm planning to do it here with my kids at home. So, it's a great one to do for the midterm break. So if you're looking for one activity that you can do as a family, I know some of the clubs will meet up as a club and they'll work on the project in the room, and Richard will be on the screen and he's going to talk us through it all. We don't know how chaotic it's going to be, but we know it'll be fun. And then I suppose the next big ask is at your next meetup, do the check-in. Please go to ourkidscode.ie/check-in. Sarah has some spot prizes. So clubs that get most active with this straight away will be sent some stuff. And then look out for our next email, which is going to be announcing some training and upskilling dates from Mary. And also, sorry, I didn't put it on here, Sarah, but Sarah is going to reach out to all of the clubs individually over the coming weeks. And, take that opportunity to explain the dynamics of your particular location. If we have learned one thing so far in OurKidsCode, it's that the context for 2 clubs will always be very different. So there's no 2 clubs that will be the same. The location might be different, the dynamics of the group, the dynamics of the relationship with the BCP site. There's a myriad of reasons why individual clubs will have individual challenges, and we really want to hear what they are from you so that we can then see what can we do to support you. So your input is really vital to our success, and it's critical to future funding. So we're funded to the end of 2024. So the more reaction data and the more evaluations that we receive from you, we can report that back up the line to Science Foundation Ireland, who fund us. And that provides us a stronger case for us to continue to be funded. And then I have one more point on this slide, but I can't see it because my little bar is in there. Can I move the bar? Oh, I can. Great. So share the word about the facilitator role. Please do share that, and consider applying yourselves. I really believe that a family and a parent who has been through the process of OurKidsCode and is in their club or running their club, what better advocate to go out and work in that context with other families to share what OurKidsCode can bring to their community. So please do get in touch, consider applying yourselves. The expression of interest form, I will follow up by email to this presentation with the links that we've mentioned so that you can consider applying or share it with somebody who you think might be suitable. And besides that, we would just like to thank you all for the time this evening and the time that you're continuing to give to your clubs, for your families, and for your communities by being a part of OurKidsCode. And we love the idea that we're going to continue to grow and learn with you and expand and hopefully support you in many more ways as we do that together. So thank you from everybody here. I know that Richard wasn't able to be with us tonight, but he is very much looking forward to seeing you all next week. So thank you, and we hope to hear from you. And if we don't hear from you, you'll hear from us. So thank you so much.
Hi, Louise. We have a question in the chat. I don't know
yeah.
whether you want to address it.
Yeah.
And that was one. Is there a recommendation for club group size? Mixed opinion within this club as to how big we need to be viable.
Great question, Olaf. And I think that we don't have an answer to it is the truth. The reason we picked 6 families as a group to start out with, as a maximum number of kind of families, is that would allow, I suppose, a family to consist of, 2 adults and 5 children, or 1 adult and 1 child. So when we averaged that out, we kind of felt that that was enough people in the room to be able to manage like a project, manage the children, manage the coding, manage just the group dynamics. So 6 was really what we had kind of put in place. Now, I don't know if that needs to be stuck at 6 when it's a club situation, because I know people will come and people will go. They may not always be able to turn up every week, but I definitely would love to chat more with individual clubs about this, because it is something that we're being asked a little bit. And the truth is, we don't know what the correct answer is to that, Olaf, not yet. Thanks, everybody. I think we'll sign off at that.